unscheduled lesson was Clyde up the top. So my year 11s came up and we came out to do our formwork and concrete. We've done our dry mix pours, so they packed this in and then we spent a while soaking it. We actually troweled it a bit to get the concrete to come to the surface, so a couple of them look okay. They're not very deep, they're only 50 to 60 mil deep with all the gravel underneath. And hopefully they set all right. I think we'll probably do a couple more soaks. I think I've got them tomorrow morning. I'll come out and check on them and give them a bit more water. Another class finished with year 11. We had our double. Been a long day, very long day. Oh, I forgot I parked out the back today. And walked out to the front car, parked in. Quick job getting yourself out of the office. This is all for year 8. They're doing a photo frame project, and judging by the amount that the teacher got out for me, he's got 2 classes doing it. He's asked me to just strip it up because while he's qualified to be in the workshop and he's very comfortable with hand tools, hand power tools, the drop saw, not comfortable with the table saw because his main area is the ICT and then junior STEM, so junior technology. So if he needs materials cut up, that's my job. Always has been for any staff that have been less than confident with the machine, because I prefer to do it for them than to have them use it without confidence and hurt themselves. It was nice being back up here. Today was a quiet afternoon, or quiet day. It was faculty time this afternoon, so I went up into the trade school and did a bit of oxy welding practice with one of my staff who hasn't had a lot of experience with it, so it was good practice for me too. It's been a while. But we had a bit of a play up there, did some brazing of tube, tested the strength so he can get ready for it with his kids. Good morning. It's October 30, so not quite Halloween. Our school chose to do their Halloween fundraising dress up today. Not exactly sure why. There must be something else on the calendar for tomorrow. Going to be very hot today. Fire danger for the mountains is extreme, 3rd out of the 4 levels, and I'm wearing all black. Got my nails done specially so I can do that. My wife bought me a new tie. It's all black except for that bit. I think it goes with the theme. It's something that'll stand out at school for the day. Anywhere I stop in the afternoon. Tomorrow is the due date for any year 10s that have N awards outstanding, which put them at risk of not getting through year 10. It hasn't been an enjoyable process, especially for students just that just let themselves get behind. They've had months and months and months to do these assignments. They haven't done them. You give them the thing to say, look, these are all outstanding, you need to submit them. And they go, but I've only got 2 weeks. No, you've had months and months and months, like I told them at the start of term about this. And they've been getting reminders all throughout the year. Some of them are really knuckling down and they're doing the work. They're catching it all up. They're doing the assignments. They're submitting them. And there's some others that you see give up hope. You're trying to help them, and they're just slow. And you can only do so much. As the deputy, I'm here to support them through it. You can't do their work for them. I don't think they feel any sort of malice towards me. It's like they hate the teacher for giving them this thing. that could turn around when age up, having to tell them eventually, like, it looks like you're going to be end determined. The principal is the final person who does that. They get a chance to try and appeal to the principal, but if they haven't done the work, there is no justification. Then you have kids that don't go through. And on the topic of assignments, my last assignment for university for my master's was due last night, and I submitted it. All assignments in and done. Fingers crossed they go okay. We had some pretty wild winds last night. It's missing. It's actually just, it's cracked it. I think I've got some spares, but I don't know how I'm going to get to it because this one's in the way now. And the way the wind sounded last night, I'm actually surprised that was just in the front yard, because it was like it had just dropped. Because there were branches falling on the roof. I found one on top of the shed this morning. I'm really surprised that that didn't end up halfway down there, because last time we had the winds and it blew that apart. I found one of the pieces stuck up against the neighbour's fence. The sprinkler system that I put on the roof got a bit blown about. Just before 6, just leaving work. I'm not exactly sure what happened today. It was a constant influx. The year 10s wanting their tasks checked off, bringing in their forms to show me, kids asking me to check it when it's not my subject, and I looked through it, I went, look, this bit doesn't look like there's enough in there, but you can ask your teacher. This one looks like you should be able to get it signed off. Go and show your teacher. Like, I can't sign it off. As heartbreaking as I was feeling the other day when some of the kids were coming in and like feeling completely down, like everything's finished, I can't do it. There was one who went home. I told him to grab all the assignments from his teachers. He went home on the weekend and just worked and worked and worked on them, and he brought them in. Teachers said that there was enough work in them and signed him off. And from a kid who was feeling so depressed, thinking he wasn't going to make it through to year 11, to be able to congratulate him and saying, like, you've made it, don't leave everything to the last minute next year. One of the things that I think we all kind of agreed upon is the current year 11 and 10, especially year 10. Year 10 was the group that were year 7, 2020. They just started school, barely got through a term, lockdown. Half of their year 7 was gone. When they came back, things were so restrictive in the school. It was such a weird time to be getting educated and to educate. Then when we thought everything was good and they hit year 8, bang, another lockdown, another lockdown. Because of that, Nessa and the Department of Ed relaxed a lot of stuff on assessment. The years were so disjointed, you couldn't fairly assess a student to the same level that they may have been otherwise. And even last year when they were year 9 and year 11 were year 10, there was still a very relaxed approach to assessment. Assessment could be more school-based rather than externally assessed and that sort of stuff. So many of them just had this attitude that, well, we don't have to hand stuff in. We don't have to do the assessment, we just have to be in class. I've actually had that discussion with some of the kids. Quite a few, very surprising and quite gratifying to see them making it through. Unfortunately, there is a number of them that will not, and you really feel for those ones. Morning. It's the 2nd of November, so Movember has started. I announced yesterday that I'm doing a reverse Movember, slowly remove the facial hair because it hasn't seen the light of day in years. Actually, people at work who've never seen me with a clean shaven face. Most of the school kids have never seen me without either a beard or the mask. Yeah, it'll be interesting. My first donation's yesterday, so I've just cleaned off the cheeks a little bit. It's definitely a good cause. Polished Man Project, which I'll keep doing anyway, and they said on the website that you can continue to get donations throughout the year. It's one of those things, they don't just close it off. The support that I received for that was fantastic. I ended up raising $700 for the organisation. It's not a charity, it's an organisation, which was double what I set my goal as. An excellent first effort. I'm really thankful for the people at work who decided to get in behind that. And I guess it is because you work with children, you're going to be concerned for women and children of domestic abuse and violence. So great effort by all the people who sponsored me for that. Beyond Blue, which is behind Movember, it was started up to try and raise awareness of men suffering with mental health issues. I think it just started out with like male cancers, testicular cancer, that sort of thing. But because men will often suffer in silence, and especially here in Australia, and Movember was started here in Australia. Men just won't talk about that sort of stuff and succumb to the cancer, succumb to the mental health, succumb to suicide because of the cancer or the mental health. And this is now my 9th official year of doing Movember. I think the first year I did it, I just sort of got in on the fun of it, and then looked further into it and started trying to raise money. Had it personally affect me with the loss of family members to cancer. Working as DP, you sort of work with another side of the students and their families, and families dealing with suicide, so therefore students dealing with suicide, families dealing with cancer, and students dealing with that. Mental health issues off the scale since COVID with for students and staff and families. I really hope that we can raise some well-needed funds for research and support. Forecast says we've got rain coming for about a week. It's Saturday. My wife asked me to do some stuff in the yard and she said, yeah, it's not meant to rain between 10 and 2. It's up past 11. And I don't like the sign of that. Bloody bamboo.